Okay, today we are playing a game on Paris. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing most of the game as Anna, but we will have actually cycled through almost every support by the end of the game. But we put in comparatively very little time on each of the other supports. Anna is the vast bulk of the video, and that's why she's the only one on the card. Current team composition is Orisa, Roadhog, Genji, Tracer, Anna, and Moira. So a little bit awkward because we've got the bunker comp tanks and dive comp DPS, so there's not a lot of synergy between those 2 points. We're also attacking first, and I don't really like the Orisa Roadhog combo for attacking, just because of the very slow and plodding way that Orisa has to attack an objective. I think the bunkered comp tanks are much better when defending, unless it's a payload map, because then if you can get on the payload, it's pretty good, but you gotta get on the payload. Stay on the payload, that's the point there. So Anna Moira also not really ideal, because we don't have a defensive ultimate. Anna's fine, like Moira, if anybody's gonna change out of the supports, it should be Moira, because we just don't have a defensive ultimate, and that's very risky business to get into. But that's about all. So let's start the game. And say that's about all. That's something to say about every aspect of the team. So, you know. So we've got to attack first. Very arduous process to go through. We did just waste our grenade back here, which almost like blazed right by. Because nothing's happening right now. Like we've taken some chip damage, but you don't want to just use the grenade to heal chip damage. We want to use the grenade in combat because the buff and debuff on the enemies is extremely strong. If you can get, like, your tank and their tank, you, like, win the fight off of that alone, but just getting, a bunch of your teammates or a bunch of the enemy in one team fight is really strong. Don't want to use the grenade between fights, really. So our team's slowly advancing in. We got left a little bit behind, but we've caught up. No big deal. Tracer's managed to pick off Batista, and Roadhog's also about to get a pick as well, so we're about to be in a very strong position. Coming out at this doorway again is a little bit risky, given the enemy team are presumably, like, they could have been, like, right around that van right there, but they've started backing up instead. Roadhog picked off Junkrat, so now they're down 2 people. Moira's using Coalescence. She's managed to build that one up pretty fast. We've almost got Nano Boost built up as well. There Moira started using Coalescence. Unfortunately, she's in the other room. I would, like, look over at least, because if we can get the anti-heal on Moira while she's using Coalescence, she's more or less dead. Because counterintuitively, Moira, when she's using Coalescence, is extremely vulnerable. So if she's also not getting her regen, she's very vulnerable. She is in the other room, but I would like to at least look, you know? See if we can get it on her. So right now, we back up with our teammates, but then we, like, immediately leave our teammates again to go off over this way. And now we're just slowly backing up towards the enemy team's spawn, which is definitely risky when they're going to be reinforcing. Because we can just, like, stay back here. I'm not sure exactly what made us feel like we had to run away. I guess the Orisa's, like, right there, but we can, like, stand behind our Orisa, back up into the room behind us, and then that's way safer with our teammates. We don't, like, isolate ourselves, and we can still heal our teammates from there as well. So, you know, we went in, stood with our teammates, and then just abandoned them to go off by ourselves. So, not great. Fucking headphones. I have a gargantuan head, but extremely smooth hair. Completely natural, thank you very much. So we've got Nano Boost built up. Genji has Dragon Blade right now, so we know what the plan is for this upcoming team fight, don't we? Yes, we do. We do have Roadhog and his ult to combo with as well. He's actually only 50% there, so he'll get it before Genji gets Dragon Blade again. I was going to say, if anything goes terribly wrong, we've got Roadhog's ult as a backup, because that's a pretty good combo as well, but he is still actually quite far away from his. So our teammates are very split up right now. Did Trank, we're trying, but couldn't see him. We did definitely try to get the Nano Boost on him, but we couldn't see him, unfortunately. What can you do? Life is hard sometimes. Genji even says, "It okay, my bad." Isn't that absolutely incredible to think that an Overwatch player would admit to their own mistakes? I know, incredible. So, we're still in it to win it right now. They're pretty far stuck in the back at this point. We're gaining ground on them slowly. So, I actually just nano boost Moira right now, because she's also got the bongo on her. She's using her ultimate. We might as well just go all in on Moira with our hopes and dreams right now. We decide to nano boost Orisa instead. I'm not super excited to nano boost Orisa a lot of the time, unless it's to keep her alive. I'd rather nano boost the Moira if we're going to nano boost anybody, but doesn't matter, we're still going to end up winning this fight anyway. We slowly have been just advancing on them this whole time, and now they're 2CPing us a little bit, but we're going to get him in the end. So the enemy Moira is actually right next to us right now. That's her, right there. And our grenade did just come off cooldown, so if we throw it at our feet right now, we get ourselves and the enemy Moira. We would have also gotten our Moira as well. Benefit of hindsight a little bit, but Moira ends up dying. I don't think we noticed that she was there, actually. Looked like we were more focused on other things, but anyway, it doesn't matter, we captured the checkpoint. Now we get to attack the second checkpoint, which is, also a very arduous process. Paris is not a very fun map to play on, is it? So their Batistas just started using the amplification matrix. They're like buckled down in that hallway over there, so we're not going to be making a whole lot of progress in the near future. Moira got shredded by the enemy team. Tracer's dead, so we gotta wait for our team to regroup before we can try and get anywhere. Now that's gonna stop Roadhog from trying to get somewhere, though. So going through the main is also going to be a very scary... Do we need... How much damage did we take? Just had a stroke, don't worry about it. How much damage did we take? You know, I'm not super excited to use the grenade like that. Like, Moira will be back soon. She's here already, in fact, so I'm not super excited to use the grenade like that. Doesn't look like we'll need to use it in the near future, but you never know, right? It's not like we were super low. So we, you know... Primal Rage, Dragon Blade coming at us. We missed the sleep on the Genji, on the Winston. And the Genji as well, I guess, but even if he got put to sleep there, he was probably going to immediately get woken up again by Orisa. Whatever, they used 2 ultimates, not the end of the world. We've almost got our ultimate. Unfortunately, it looks like Roadhog used his ultimate, he should have just saved that, but we do almost have 4 ultimates ready. And Orisa's 2/3 towards her, so we're still pretty close. So Roadhog's changed to Reaper now, so now our only tank is Orisa, which is upsetting. It's not the worst solo tank you can have, but it's far from ideal at the same time. Do we need to use the grenade right there? How wounded were those 2 people? Not overly. Like, I guess it's I guess that's kind of a better safe than sorry kind of situation, but didn't really need to use the grenade right there. You know, it's all about figuring out the exact right amount of greed. We can hear the tire right now, which is why we're backing way the fuck up. Tyre did kill Reaper, McCree's dead as well, so Moira's still in there. Like, she really shouldn't be, but she went in and did it. Oh no, definitely don't use Nano Boost right now. Team fight is not looking good. Like, to be fair, it could be going worse. Tracer's actually managed to kill 2 people with this Nano Boost, so that's nice, but don't use the Nano Boost in that situation. It's extremely unlikely to result in anything actually happening. Tracer did get 2 kills. It still didn't amount to anything, though. Better to save it for a team fight that we're more likely to actually win, because our chances of winning that team fight were very low. Reaper changed back to Roadhog, and somebody else has changed to Reaper, so that's not ideal, because a bunch of people just built up some ult charge, and then it dropped it immediately right afterwards. That's the thing with switching heroes frequently, is that you hamper your ability to generate ult charge, and I don't know if you noticed, but Overwatch as a game revolves a lot around ultimate, so doing a lot of switching hinders you in terms of building ult charge. Moira's using Coalesce. It's very scary to, like, walk down the main entrance at their team, but it is what our team is deciding to try and do. Could we have tried to trank Moira right here? Did she come through the shield? She's definitely come through the shield. Not by much, but she has come through the shield, so we could have gone for a try on her right there to trank her, but... 2 of their teammates got, 2 of them got, like, picked off really fucking fast in that team fight right there. Started gaining a lot of ground. They're gonna, of course, get out here to contest us. This is a 2CP map, of course. Tragically, we don't quite have Nano Boost to use with Roadhog using his ultimate right there. Roadhog built up a lot of ult really fucking fast, given he only just switched back to it. We do almost have our ult built up. But Genji's using Dragon Blade, didn't manage to trank him, just Nano Boosted someone. It's Tracer. I would prefer to Nano Boost Reaper over Tracer, but in that situation, kind of just like get it on one of them to keep them alive was probably the mentality more than anything else, and either way, we end up winning the round. Hooray. I think we had more than a minute left, which is important, because that can put you in a situation where you can't lose anymore if you do. Come on. Come on, YouTube. You can do it. There you go. No, we don't have more than a minute left. Damn. Because if we had more than a minute left and they finished in overtime, they would not get the time extension, which would mean we'd be in a position where we couldn't lose anymore at that point. But tragically, under a minute, they'll get the time extension no matter what, as long as they finish. Because if one team gets an extension, the other team always gets the extension as well. It has to be a hybrid map or a 2CP map for it to matter. If it's a payload map, you always get the extension no matter what as well. Anyway, who cares about all that nonsense? So we're very far back, hard to die from all the way back here. Makes it a little bit harder for us to see people at ground level walking through the alleyway, which means that we're in a less good position to do damage, just because it's a little harder to see them at ground level, but that's not really our concern as Ana at the same time. So here, we just chucked it at Genji. If we just chuck it at our feet, we get both of them. Both of us. We might have to, like, take a half step forward to do it, but ideally when a flanker's going for you, you get yourself with the grenade, and, you know, heal as much as possible with the grenade, and get the flanker as well, because if you get the flanker with the grenade, then you don't need to do a lot of extra damage to them at that point to convince them to fuck off, pretty much, because once you get a flanker down to, like, half health, they start thinking very strongly about leaving the fight at that point, rather than doubling down and fighting you anymore. And ideally, you get, like, as much of the heal out of it on yourself as possible. So we lost that checkpoint real fast. Not the end of the world, we still got the second checkpoint to play around, and, like, we have all played on a 2CP map before. The second checkpoint is like 80% of the map. So standing over here is a little bit scary, because if somebody comes through the left-hand side, then they will get right on us and we wouldn't see them coming. We've now rotated around to the back, though, so this is a lot safer. They were, in fact, going left, because now we can see both sides easily. There's not a lot of cover up here, but it's still a pretty good place to stand if you're a longer-range hero. So here comes Genji, throw it down, get the heal on both of us. Oh, stand in the lamp. Oh, lamp gone. Got slapped. You know, if we don't trank the Genji, things are always going to be scary, but it's not exactly easy to trank the Genji at the same time. Let's see, whatever the fuck that guy's name is. Oxnictophile, I guess? Whatever. Fucking food, something or other. Jesus, guys, come on. I had Hanzo on me the whole time. Well, we had a fucking Dragon Blade situation going on, didn't we? Whatever the fuck your name is. Some more pressing concerns. You have to learn how to deal with life. You know, you have to learn to deal with life sometimes like that. So we don't manage to get out in time. We're about to initiate a hero switch. We did not have our grenade to use. Where did we use our grenade in here? We chucked it again, Jake. We could have gotten ourselves with it. Were we winded by that point? We were. Yeah, so if we just, like, take a step forward, throw it at our feet, we get the heal on ourselves and the anti-heal on Genji at the same time. Which is better than just one or the other, and now we gotta try and, like, walk our way past him to get to the point. We end up dying. We're about to initiate the switch. No, we don't switch yet. Because we're gonna switch to Bridget first, I'll tell you that much. Like, switching to Bridget's fine. Oh, the other guy changed to Lucio off of Batista, so less good. Bridget does more healing than you think, and, like, Genji's proving to be a problem, so I'd probably just do it anyway, to be honest with you. Not a great nano boost. We obviously wanted Roadhog and got Lucio by accident, but I don't really want to nano boost Roadhog either at that point, because the fight's over at this point. Yeah, it looks like Roadhog might die, but even if he dies, like, we've already won the fight. So I don't care really right there. But we're going to switch to Bridget now, so the thought process might have just been, well, I'm just going to get this ult out there, do something with it, because I'm going to change this Bridget now. And that's fine. Genji's proving to be a problem, so switching to Bridget is perfectly fine. Bridget does more healing than you think she does. I regularly have gold healing over the Mercy or the Ana, sometimes the Moira, which is really depressing. But you know how people are sometimes, so... our teammates are kind of getting slapped right now. We are sitting kind of far back, because Orisa moves the shield up. Nope, she actually moved the shield up right then. Never mind, Roadhog was too far up. I'm stupid. I thought Orisa moved her shield up sooner than that, so no, it was fine. There, Bridget just used her ultimate, so they're definitely going to try and come in right now. We could have stunned Roadhog right here to stop his take a breather. Which, you know, he's running, like, right in at us right now. So if we stop the take a breather right there, he'll take more damage coming through the doorway. We instead start getting into a scuffle with him right here. We've not spaced it properly, because we don't need to be touching the guy as Bridget. Like, we don't need to be physically right on top of him. And Roadhog is very much fine with us being right on top of him. So we don't want to be, like, right on top of Roadhog when we fight him. And... it's less impactful to stun him right now as well, because he's not about to use Take a Breather or anything like that, so it's better to, like, just start smacking him, then we can stun him once he gets, like, a decent shot in on us, regen a little bit while he's stunning, then resume fighting him after that point, or save it to interrupt the next time he tries to use a cooldown, like tries to hook someone or use Take a Breather. But we just don't want to be, like, right on top of the guy. We don't need to be physically touching the guy with our model, and Roadhog is fine with us doing that, because he's the one with the shotgun. But we don't die regardless. It is hard for Roadhog to kill Bridget. Like, you have to, like, really fuck up pretty much for it to happen. So I've seen that they've got a Reaper on their team now. I think Genji changed to one of the DPS. Yep. Oh, no, Genji's still there. Never mind. We do have to worry about Reaper, because Reaper is also going to be doing some flanky stuff while we are worrying about Genji as well, so, you know, should have tried to put the armor pack on Pharah right there. This is not a good use of Barrage, like, don't get me wrong, she tried really hard. Like, did you see how far in advance she was thinking about that one? But we should have tried to put the armor pack on her, maybe she survives a little bit better. She almost certainly doesn't, but, you know, try regardless. So Genji used Dragon Blade right here. We didn't manage to stun him. Even if we do stun him, he's nano-bladed, so he likely still gets kills right there regardless, because that's the ultimate he's using, right? So, meh, fight didn't go too well. Fucking hell, Duddy, Jiwad, Jamwid, Monja, bebe, you know. He seems really stoked about it, pretty much. McCree be like, what you gonna say? Come on, Saitama. McCree never turned down a 1v1. It's in character, true. Very lore appropriate. I'm still waiting for what Saitama's second part of that sentence is gonna be, but I guess we're just never gonna find out, huh? That's it. Very disappointing. I love some good shit talk. Don't go bunker. I'd rather we didn't go bunker, but, you know. Dive, reverse psychology. Long con. Yep, okay. Alright, we're switching around now. Great. So our hero pick has suddenly... our hero pick suddenly became a lot less good right there, because, Moira is not good with dive comps. She just can't keep up, pretty much. You'll have to use Fade to keep up with your teammates if you're using a dive comp, and Moira doesn't want to do that. She does not want to use her Fade to keep up with people, and your team's usually going to be really spread out. The people on dive comps are usually not the kind of people that benefit from massive amounts of healing, which is the only thing Moira's got going for her. And Moira's also really bad at affecting team fights on high ground, so Moira becomes a lot less of a point, obviously, for Paris, where there isn't much high ground, but Moira is not very good with dive comps. Don't use Amp It Up coming out of the gate, doesn't really do very much. It gets you there like a second faster, but then you're using your like 12-second cooldown, and you'll be like arriving at the front line without your very important cooldown, so don't amp up the speed boost out of the gate. Unless it's like, I just gotta get back to the point to touch it as soon as possible or we're gonna lose the round kind of situation. And because then, you know, you gotta take everything you can get, right? So we're up. Reaper went off by himself and got clapped by Roadhog, so that's pretty depressing. Maybe somebody was helping. Hopefully he didn't just get clapped by Roadhog solo. That would be a depressing world, wouldn't it? So we're purple right now, amping up the healing boost, not going to achieve very much. We are in, like, real fucking deep. We're in real fucking deep, and we're not really doing anything fancy movement-wise. We're just, like, going A and D right behind the people, so they just start slapping us pretty much. Amping it up the healing boost while we're purple, not great. Better to amp up the speed boost to get out until we're not purple anymore. I've just pushed 0 by accident. I wasn't even trying to push anything on the keyboard. It's just, you know, I'm just too fucking fat, dude. Just slapped it with my arm. Now we gotta go. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. A more professional man would edit that kind of shit out, but that's not me. You gotta be true to who you are, you know? You know? So I've also gotta click over in here again. So we didn't die, regardless. That's very nice. You know, being alive, highly preferable. Bridget's using her ultimate. We're not really, like, doing any fancy Lucio movement. Like, we're not doing any wall riding. We're not, like, bunny hop, and we're not trying to put any moves on him, pretty much. And there's geometry around us to use. If we're, like, in the middle of this point, obviously there isn't much to do, but we're doing a lot of just, like, slowly shuffling back and forth next to people, rather than using any of Lucio's fancy movement techniques, you know? And we're just not really playing Lucio at that point, you know? Like, Lucio's got cool movement abilities. We want to try and make use of them as much as possible, just to make it harder to get hit. And we didn't really do any wall riding, which is, you know, one of the main draws of Lucio, and where he gets most of his mobility and survivability from. So there's just, like, no reason to be doing what we're doing right now, because nobody in there has taken any damage at all. We're better off shooting at the people coming through the gate instead, because like, now they're starting to take a little down. No need to do that. Like, we gotta be conscious of how much ammo we're using, because our healing is gated by our ammo, right? Like, just like, nothing, something that time, nothing again, nothing. So that's 5, nothing. Now something. So that was 6 shot, then those 2 ended up being nothing again. So that was, like, most of a full clip that we fired at full health people, which is less than ideal. We could have just been contributing more damage during that period, rather than, like, throwing the grenades in at people who are not wounded. We get clapped very resoundingly regardless, but we were not great with our resources right there. We could have just been contributing more damage rather than doing what we were doing. But we lost pretty resoundingly. We were unlikely to be the linchpin in that operation, tragically. Such is the case sometimes when you're playing support. You get stuck in a situation where it's like, well, you got limited options in terms of what you can do. Unsurprisingly, Unsurprisingly, the Genji got the play of the game. It was not the play I expected it to be, but he did get the play all the same. So, thing that stood out the most, pretty much just resource stuff. Like, I don't feel like we got a lot of value out of the grenade as Ana. We didn't get a lot of benefit out of the sleep dart either. And, you know, the sleep dart, it's hard to land, especially on the people we really wanted to use it on, but we didn't get a lot of value out of Ana's cooldowns, and that's, like, the main draw of playing Ana. You know, every hero has something about them that's unfair, one way or the other, and that's the thing you try to lean on as much as possible. Like, we think about Genji, very straightforward example. Genji's ultimate is very unfair, where it is usually, like, if you use it well, it is an I win this team fight button, right? So, Genji players lean very heavily on their ultimates, and a lot of Genji's playstyle is like getting picks if you can, but like getting to Dragon Blade as fast as possible for big team fight plays. The thing that's unfair about Ana is mostly the grenade, though also the sleep dart and her ultimate as well, but the grenade is very strong. Like, the anti-heal is an incredibly powerful debuff, and the healing buff is nice, not as good as the anti-heal, but also very good. Like, so we try to lean on the grenade and nano boost as much as possible as Ana, because those are the things that are really unfair about her. So if we don't get a lot of value out of the grenade when we're playing, that's an issue for Ana, because so much of Ana is the grenade, pretty much. And then nano boosting the correct people as well. Trank can make big plays, but unfortunately it's very small, very slow, very hard to actually hit people, and the people you want to hit with it are usually the ones that are hardest to hit. So, but the cooldown usage with Ana is a pretty big deal. And then we were only playing Batista for like 20 seconds, but the resource management on his healing grenades was not good either, but like we've got a sample size of like 20 seconds on that one, so yeah. And we're like in the deep end of the game where we're already like, well, we can't win anymore, we can only not lose, you know. So anyway, that's what stood out the most, though. So thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I've started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST till 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. And if you managed to make it all the way through and somehow still enjoyed the video, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future. And I hope you found the video helpful.